Hello, welcome to the ABT show. Today we'll be looking at commodities like corn, soyabean, wheat, sugar, and the like of others on chart. Moving forward, there are different approach and mindsets when it comes to the business of investing and trading. There are individuals who usually approach the market aggressively, and there are those who approach the market conservatively. Now, for those who approach the market aggressively, they most likely are looking at the shorter time frames and not obviously looking at the longer time frames. They are just people who want to squeeze out profits or make attempt on smaller time frames, like let me say that of the 5 minutes chart, the 1 minute chart, charts like this, where you see quick moves or pips, price movement, and you see chart like the 50 minutes, chart like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes. So people who are aggressive in their approach or who sustain the perspective of an aggressive trader usually would want to meddle with the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, the 50-minute chart, because those time frames obviously have the candles or the price candles unfold early enough. So, but for somebody who is looking at long-term investing, time frames like the monthly or even higher, if your charting platform provides maybe anything higher than 1 month, sometimes you will see the 3 months charts, the 6 months, the 1 year, even 5 years. I've seen 5 years on some other charting platforms, but I'm making use of the MT4, which obviously has the monthly as the highest time frame on chart. So we were looking at commodities like I earlier mentioned. So this is the chart of corn. Not quite long, somebody was asking me about the price of corn and what do I think and all that. Well, this platform have us analyze what has been ongoing on global financial markets, be it on currencies, commodities, be it whatever. We bring them on board, we talk about them, we see what the hypes, what the future, what the possible opportunities could be, even when it comes to analyzing instruments in this wise. So this is the chart, the monthly chart of corn. Now you could see corn is strongly downtrending, and so many people have been saying, what does the future hold, or what does one have to do in a situation like this? For me as an investor who obviously think long-term investing, so long I'm dealing with something that has a great prospect for the future, I see things like this, for instance, a setup like this, as an opportunity to get early enough. Yes, get as much as you can early enough, because one strategy, like I earlier mentioned in one of my videos, one strategy for long-term investing is to buy assets with great prospect for the future at good prices. So now you see the market is very down, like you are seeing the market of corn from a longer perspective is strongly bullish and strongly bearish. That means the price has been down due to macroeconomic data on global markets. So you see how that the market is down now. But for a long-term investor, somebody who sees great prospect for the future, that person wouldn't want to approach the market like an aggressive trader, okay, that person most likely would want to do it. What is the prospect for the future? Is there a possibility for a reversal? Now, these are the questions that comes to mind, because there are certain prices you cannot get when they leave certain levels. You can't get them at those levels. So sometimes when people begin to complain, lament about, wow, the prices are going down, what are we to do, and all that, you see, a conservative investor obviously doesn't bother about those things. A conservative investor just begins to see opportunities even when people are afraid, okay? So for a conservative investor, most likely these things are opportunities to get in early enough. Yes, so if you look at the shorter time frames, for instance, there are traders who usually come around here just for some hourly movements, yes, on chart, so they could make profit for the day. But speaking to someone who obviously would want to stay longer enough, it tells you how that they would want to invest in something they know has a great prospect for the future, and these longer time frames resonate with such persons. So the mindsets, the approach are different when you talk about market players, the investors, the traders. So investors usually would want to stay longer enough. Yes, they get in early enough, buying at good prices, knowing full well that this instrument, this asset class has a great prospect for the future, so they get in early enough, not minding what the current price is saying today. They just want to be sure that this asset or asset class that they are delving into has a great prospect for the future. They know that this will eventually become a big shot in the nearest future. So the opportunity to buy early enough is what they are looking at. Yes, because buying early enough can help them secure volume, and volume in this market is a big deal. Yes, the more you have can determine how much more you can be turning up in profit in the years to come. So an investor most likely have or sustain this mindset and approach. But somebody who obviously is an aggressive trader wouldn't want to look at this perspective. Yes, so this is that of corn. So I want to take us to that of other commodities like wheat, soyabean, talk about sugar. This is that of soyabean. This is a chart of soyabean. You could see also downtrending. It tells you from a longer perspective, they are all strongly bearish, heading downward. But this is not how a long-term investor sees this. A long-term investor sees opportunities around this. Yes, around this setup, they see opportunity. They don't see what an aggressive investor sees today. An aggressive investor is most likely meddling with the smaller time frames for quick moves. But a long-term investor most likely stays focused on the longer time frames, and then willing to wait for longer periods of time. Yes, so this is the chart of soyabean, also downtrending strongly. This is, let me go to another commodity. Okay, this is that of wheat. Now you see, also downtrending. So the market has been low, even on a longer perspective. That of wheat, also low. Let me go to another. You see that of sugar. You could see sugar is also strongly downtrending. So all of these things to an aggressive investor who wants to quickly get in on trade and come out, this is not the time frame for an aggressive investor. This is not what they meddle with. An aggressive investor just want to deal with the shorter time frames I earlier talked about, the 1 minute charts, the 5 minutes charts, the 15 minutes charts. Yes, those charts that are in minutes, sometimes the hourly chart, yes, sometimes the daily chart. But a long-term investor would want to buy early enough, dealing with the longer time frames, knowing full well that this asset class has a great prospect for the future. So when men say, like as it were, communicated in scriptures, when men say there's a casting down, you say there's a lifting up. So a long-term investor sees differently because they are looking to buy great assets. Yes, asset that has great prospect for the future. They want to buy them early enough at good prices because they know definitely these assets will do well as time unfold in the nearest future. So this is the charts of sugar. Let me check that of the next commodity on chart. The next commodity on chart here is cocoa. Cocoa is ranging. You could see cocoa is ranging. It's a ranging setup. Cocoa is ranging, neither bullish, neither bearish, just ranging. And this is the ranging setup. When I mean a range, it is most likely just going between these sets. This is what I mean by a range. So it is just going in between. Let me use that word for those of you who don't understand some of these terminologies. So you could see the price candles obviously are just unfolding in between these parallel lines that I indicated. Okay, so now that tells you how that many of these instruments you see have their seasons. Okay, many of these instruments you see have their seasons. So how a trader, an aggressive trader, approaches the market is not how an investor who is most likely conservative to ensure every research, their due diligence is done, the fundamental analysis, the technicals, and even knowing what is coming or what the future holds for these assets. They will want to do with those information to ensure they buy early enough. Now, for those of you who have questions, who have contributions, like I earlier said, these sessions will be interactive, will be fun, and you can use the comment section to ask your questions. Feel free to do so. Air your views, what you think about all of these instruments. I think, let me check if there's any other one. Feel free to air your views, make your comments, ask questions. Also do well to like, share, subscribe, without forgetting to turn on the notification bell for updates. Yes, I would appreciate you do so because we will be going on a tour even as the days unfold. This is that of cotton. Let me see what's happening with cotton. Cotton is also downtrending on the longer time frames. Okay, so you could see from corn, from soyabean, sugar, cocoa, cotton, even wheat. You could see the market. The markets seem not to be doing well currently. Today being the 10th of June 2025. This is the levels. Yes, these are the levels when you talk about the price of these instruments I just mentioned, and I also reviewed on chart. You could see 10th of June 2025. It doesn't speak like what most people want to call a profitable venture. It doesn't look like what most people want to call a profitable venture for now. But for somebody who has foresight, yes, they begin to do their research, begin to work with the fundamentals, begin to go for knowledge around these instruments to know even what the future holds for the same, then begin to position themselves early enough now. Reason because if price leave this level, you may never get it again. So at this point, I want to allow you to take advantage of the comment section. Feel free to do so. Do not hesitate to share. Do not hesitate to like. Do not hesitate to subscribe without turning on the notification bell. Yeah, without forgetting to turn on your notification bell, because the same will bring you updates. So I remain your host, Daniel Eze, and I will be coming up in subsequent videos to talk more about diverse perspective, how market players, the investors, the traders approach the same. Yes, all about global financial market. Until then, see you on the next video. Thank you and stay safe. God bless.